This isn't limited to back pain. You can't get a new neck either. 1 in 3 people suffer from neck pain past the age of 50. How many of you are planning to use your neck past the age of 50 without experiencing pain? Pretty big club. So if 1 in 3 have bad neck pain and 85 out of 100 have back pain, that's about as high a statistic I think anyone would need to see to be convinced that we need to do something preventative about this. But just in case you need a little bit more convincing, let's take a look and see what would happen if we don't do anything preventative. What would happen if we just let nature take its course? So take a look at this mobility scale. Now the number on the bottom represents your age, and the number on the side represents your mobility. In other words, if you take a look at the blue line here, you can see that you reach your 100% mobility or your maximum mobility at about age 23. Now look how the blue line drops if we let nature take its course. You'll see here that you lose about 50% of your mobility that you had when you were 23 by the time you were 50. I'm sure any of those who are around 50 or older would testify that about 50% mobility is probably conservative. Now look how the graph continues to drop. By the time we are 60, we have about 25% of the mobility that we had when we were 23. Now the big question this is revealing is, can the scale be changed? Do we have to accept this, or can the results be altered? The good news is, with preventative care, we can make big improvements on the scale. Take a look at the red line here and see what happens if we let nature take its course. And then look at the green line here and see how we can change with some preventative care. On this green line here, you can see that we can actually hold our mobility at about 75% through the age of 80. All right, that's what we need and want, and that's what we want for our family as well. If you're gonna be here, you might as well be able to move and function, so why not take the steps necessary to make this happen? Well, one answer you might be thinking, that's perfect if you're young. But what about those of us who've already experienced pain? What if we're past the age of 50? Is it too late? Absolutely not. In fact, I want to congratulate you for being here. It's never too late to do the right thing. We want to get you on the right track for a great life, and here's how we do it. The first thing you need to do is follow through on the entire recommendation of care. The reason I mentioned following through is because you've already lived a long time with the mentality, and only take care of your spine and your joints when you're in pain. This means it's going to be easy for you to think, once you get out of pain, that you no longer need treatments. Listen, if you drop out after pain relief, you're never going to change the results on the scale that we just looked at. The only way you can change the scale is to follow through with all 3 phases of recommended care. Let's look at these 3 phases. The first phase is the pain relief stage. This is a reminder for some of you, but let's make sure we understand the cause of our pain and other health-related problems. You have what's called a subluxation, which is a misalignment of the vertebrae, which is causing nerve interference. It's a pinch in the nerve, which can impact many other areas and organs of the body, which causes a lot of disease in ways you might never even associate with back pain. Picture it like this. If you've ever hooked up a garden hose and you turn on the water, it works perfect, unless there's a twist or a kink. If the hose gets twisted, it stops the flow of water, which goes through the hose. You might call this the subluxation of the hose. In other words, the misalignment of your spine is causing nerve interference, or it's stopping the flow of messages from nerves to other organs in the body. causing back pain and other physical ailments due to nerve interference. When the nerve interference is removed, the nerve flow is restored, and so is your health. So how do we remove this nerve interference? We remove it through a series of adjustments. The adjustments gradually move your spine back in alignment and away from the nerve, allowing the body to heal itself. You say, great, I get a series of adjustments that remove the interference, getting rid of the pain and the problem. So why can't I just stop when the pain is gone? It's important to emphasize that this is only the first phase of your care, and this alone will never solve your problem or change your mobility scale. We must proceed to phase 2 of care, which is stabilization care.